And let me give a warning to you. Nobody can run and hide on this one. These folks are coming for you. This is not my war. This is our war. And you all didn't start it. The establishment started it. President Trump's not only going to finish this term, he's going to win with 400 electoral votes in 2020.
Wow, big words there. 400 electoral votes. Steve Bannon declaring war on the Republican Party, saying that their jobs are on the line if they stand in the way of the president's agenda. So will his threats become a reality for the establishment? Here to debate, editor at Red Alert Politics, Ron Meyer, and Fox News contributor Jessica Tarlive. Thank you both for joining us bright and early this morning. We're not quite bright yet, but you know. That's all right, though. We love it. So, Jessica, I'll start with you. What do you think about what Steve Bannon had to say? Do you think he's right? You know, if Republicans don't get the job done, are they in danger?
I think if Republicans don't get the job done, they are in danger, but not necessarily because Donald Trump and Steve Bannon are coming for them. I think it's because the voters will be coming from them. The Republican Party has been running on repeal and replace Obamacare. Not something I agree with, but that's what they've been running on for 7 years. Haven't come up with a plan. Trump's now resorted to those executive orders. The Republican establishment, along with President Trump, have made certain promises about tax reform, for instance, for years as well. I think if they don't deliver a tax cut, a lot of them are going to be on the chopping block, but I don't see 400 electoral votes, and I see a Democrat presidency in 2020.
All right. Well, so, Ron, I'll talk to you about this. Do you think that people will blame Republicans for not working with President Trump, though, to get some of the things accomplished that Jessica just laid out for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if there's no health care law that passes, if there's no tax reform, if there's not $1 for the wall, if there's no new infrastructure built in the country, they're going to go after Republican incumbents. They're going to go after Democrat incumbents. People are going to be frustrated. I think people are frustrated in general that neither side can work together to get anything done for the American people. And so certainly it'll give Bannon some power if Washington continues to fail. But I think it's not just Bannon's people or Trump's base that's frustrated. I think it's a lot of the American people who are just very upset that Washington is inept right now and they can't get anything done.
So wasn't that the case before, though? What's the phrase, Jessica? Deja vu all over again?
Totally. I mean, we also have to look at the other side of the puzzle here. Democrats at the moment are still split between the progressive left wing, the kind of Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren wing, that is pulling more and more centrists actually into it with the Medicare for All bill, for instance, taking Kamala Harris and a number of others with them. And then we have the centrist moderate bloc that I feel like speaks to more of the nation, especially in light of the results over the last 8 years where we lost 1,000 seats in total and, you know, the big one. So we've got our issues over here as well. But yes, deja vu, and I hope that we don't deja vu on this side.
Well, and then on top of that, Ron, I know that you were saying that the 2018 map favors Republicans in addition to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are 10 incumbent Democrats who are in states that Donald Trump won. And really, so I mean, I think a lot of people wish Bannon was talking about going on offense there. And frankly, even if you want more conservatives or more populists, whatever you want to call what Bannon represents in the Senate, then really what you should be focusing on is putting people who can win and people who will represent your values into these primaries to take on these Democrat senators. We have to. The only way you're going to break a filibuster is by electing those 10. Is flipping those 10 seats. And so unless that becomes the focus and unless that's what happens, Republicans are still going to be stuck on not being able to pass their agenda unless they can start getting some bipartisan help from Democrats. I think Jessica's totally right that the progressive wing of the party has basically made it totally impossible to work with the president. And listen, I think that there are a lot of things, like infrastructure is a perfect example. Why can't we get an infrastructure bill done? It's something both parties agree on. It's because of the hard left has made working with Trump impossible.
Jessica,
the president also, I've been using my hand like no, the president should have led with infrastructure. I completely agree.
Everybody, a lot of people say that,
that he wanted. Chuck Schumer wanted as well. It'll also be interesting to see what the result comes out of the Supreme Court on gerrymandering, which will matter a lot for the elections to come. And also, we need to think about Donald Trump's popularity. I know it's something Steve Bannon likes to ignore here, but this president, even in a lot of states that he won handedly, his popularity is slipping. So we have vulnerable senators, but we also have a vulnerable president and a vulnerable agenda.
Well,
Chuck Schumer and Pelosi are so much more popular.
But then you have that.
It's amazing.
No, actually they're not. But then there's also the argument that people on both sides, whether they're a Democrat or Republican, just don't want to work with the current president. So that's a whole other problem that we're dealing with. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.